what we'll do, we have just recapitulate a little bit, and then recapitulate a little bit, and then again we start doing what we are doing about the details of the project. So project objectives, just recapitulating a little bit, that what are the project objectives and functions. So three main objectives of the project, that is performance, commitment of expenditure within budget, and time. So we have already, every time we have said that time is very important and you have to complete the project within the period of time, and also the project performance, so that it can specify standard for the a particular project. Different types of project has different standards. I think you have talked about 14,000 and other standards, 19,000. Different types of projects has different types of standards. So, and certain specifications are there. So while doing the project, you have to maintain the standards and the corresponding specifications, as well as reliability and safety. So performance depend of a project depending upon the specifications, the corresponding functions, the project reliability and safety. Also, uh, containment of expenditure within budget to ensure smooth running, and time scale, timely implementation of project to be proven at the time of launch. That means it has to be whatever schedule has been asked to maintain during the planning of the project. The proper schedule has to be maintained, otherwise the cost may go haywire. We have already talked about that, and we have talked about the different types of objectives, so we are not going into the details of this. So next, the basic functions of project is to manage the project scope, to define the goals and the work to be done in sufficient detail to facilitate understanding and correct performance of the participants. Means whoever is doing the project, whoever is doing participating in different activities of the project, they must know what is their job, their specification. Their job specifications are to be clearly mentioned, so that they can know and what they need to do, and they can do accordingly. So define the goals and scope of the project is to be done in such a way so that everybody has the clear picture what they are going to do. Manage the human resource involved in a project effectively. So as we have said, uh, mo most important resource is the human resource. Whoever is doing, actually they will be performing to complete the project within the period of time and within the specified budget. So the managing the human resources is important, is very important. Then managing communications. I think we have already discuss all those projects. See, communication management, human resource management, all these things we have already discussed previously. Risk. So I'm just recapitulating a little bit. Then managing time by planning and meeting schedules, and then manage quality of the project so that results are satisfactory, and manage costs to see that the project is performed at the minimum possible cost and within the budget if possible. So these are the six basic functions. We have already discussed those previously, and uh, and we can go to the next slide. Now, how the project can be classified? The project can be classified on different ways. Uh, Project classified on the basis of scope and significance, like a national project, which is a development based project, depending upon rural location, depending upon the resources, and depending upon the so national project. And what are the different development project, whether it's a rural development kind of, like think about the project of Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. So Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, what happens in there, in that kind of project, where smaller villages, smaller cities, there the communication, the roads which are means kacha road, means what should I, unpitched road. So they are made pitched, and so that the proper communication can be done. So that's a development project, and that's a national development project. And urban, you can talk about the development project of, say, making of flyovers or metro rail projects are the development project. Then also it can also be termed as a, it can also be termed as a resource oriented project, we can uh, or infrastructural project, like the Gram Sadak Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, or the metro rail project can also be termed as resource oriented infrastructure. And production service mobilization kind of projects are like service project, like software maintenance, or it's becoming really. Then could be national maintenance project, means like right now whatever is happening to the flyovers in and around Calcutta, all the flyovers are being maintained. So already the flyovers are 5-10 years old. So, and rats have been made the flyovers, somewhere the flyovers are not working properly. So like in here in near Shithimur, there is a flyover where in front of the, like, Tala Bridge, there the maintenance is not been done for last 10 years. So they have stopped, the Tala Bridge, the vehicle passing over the Tala Bridge, and they are doing the maintenance. Like same thing has happened for the Bijan Setu and all other flyovers throughout the Calcutta. So it's a maintenance kind of project. Also based on this can be classified as internal, some project can be classified as international projects, where foreign investors uh, work together with the Indian companies, and the joint ventures can be joint ventures of foreign companies as well as with Indian companies. Like, think about the Maruti Suzuki when it started as a when they started the Maruti Suzuki, the car. That point of time, it was a Maruti and Suzuki collaboration. It's a joint venture, and they started the car manufacturing in Gurgaon or Delhi, near Delhi. So that was a project which is a joint venture or MNC project, collaboration with international companies. Then the project can be classified based on size and scale as large scale, medium scale, and small scale. So large scale means quite a lot of money involved, lot of people, lot of resources are involved, maybe more than 50 crores or more than 100 crores of budget. Medium scale could be say 5 to 20 crores, uh, or 20 to 50 crores, like that. And small scale could be within 5 crores, so within 5 crores could be small scale, where the requirement of people resources are in a smaller kind of thing. Means personal level, the project, the companies that they do is a more or less small scale. And medium scale means could be joint ventures, or could be, it depends upon what kind of involvement of people, what kind of monetary and money requirement is there. And so, like putting a factory of say uh, could be a small scale. But if the production, if a factory of if say Coal India Limited is establishing factory in different locations, that could be a medium scale. And large scale production could be, say, throughout the large scale production and large scale project could be like metro rail project could be termed as a large scale, because lots of time, money, investment, resources are required for that. So, this project is classified based on the size and scale. Then the base project could be classified based on the ownership and control, like public sector project, private sector project, and joint sector. So public sector means which is mostly controlled by the government, and private sector is mostly governed by the uh, private parties, private organizations. Uh, and joint venture or joint sector could be where both the parties, like PPP, public private partnership. Right now there are certain projects that are coming out in the PPP model. I don't know how many of you have heard this term PPP model. So public private partnership, where stake from both the government and the uh, private companies are coming together to welfare kind of projects, for development or welfare projects in the throughout India. So that kind of project can
হ্যাঁ
be termed as a
স্যার,
yeah,
সরি ফর ইন্টারাপ্ট।
uh,
স্যার, দেবার্গও জয়েন করতে চাইছে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ করছি একটুখানি। And project could be classified on the basis of degree of change, how the change management can be, change can be part of the project, like inventive project, discovery of certain things, innovation, adaptation, like uh, like uh, like think about uh, think about people who are working on, previously it was Maruti and Suzuki, and they wanted to, then Suzuki, think about that bike making company, where uh, Suzuki and Hero, I think, sorry, Hero and Honda. Think about Hero and Honda. Hero Honda, there was a, where they were doing joint ventures. Now after, in last 4 5 years, I can't remember actually, when they have separated. Hero and Honda are the two. Honda was a company from, I think, Japan, and Hero was an Indian company. So there was a joint venture. So there was an international company, and collaboration between international company and the Indian company. And now they have parted ways. Now, for the employees who were working at that point of time, they were, people had to adapt according to the strategies of, means those who were with Hero Honda together. Now, when Hero and Honda separated, those who are with Honda, they have to adapt to the strategies of Honda, and the people who are with Hero, they had to adapt to the strategies of Hero. They had the separate strategies, and according to the work culture, the different things are already been, and the way the job, the projects have been handled, there was quite a change. There could be changes because of the policy changes. So how those adaptation can be handled, could be a kind of classification of project, based on the degree of change. And inventive or say invention, right now there are several projects which are coming out, more on renewable energy. So emphasis on renewable energy, where solar energy can be used to sustainable development of the houses, or any kind of, where solar energy can be used in such a way so that the energy requirement of a particular project can be done in such a way so that solar energy can be used. So now these kind of innovations are required, where uh, solar energy, solar panels can be fit into the buildings, so that they can make their own electricity. So they are self sufficient home. They don't have to, in several places the homes are coming up, like people are making their own electricity. If they can fit the solar panels in their windows, and say in the terrace, So they can capture the energy from the sun, and the electricity can be generated so that the requirement of the electricity uh, can be requirement of the electricity can be uh, made in such a way that they can use that electricity, so they don't have to buy electricity from outside. So these are the kind of innovation that has been happening, and newer kind of projects are coming up. Newer kind of projects are coming up. Then the project classification can be done based on technology involved. Like I have already said, that conventional, non-conventional research and development projects, developing a new technology, that the example. So all the projects can be different, can be classified based on the different different ways. It could be based on the technology, it could be based on the scope and size, it could be based on the significance. So, and the project could be also defined as based on speed, like normal or crash or disaster. Disaster, NDRF. Have you heard the term National Disaster Team? Like whatever what happens during a national disaster, kind of huge. Like what happened yesterday in Tamil Nadu. There was a cyclone Nivar, although not much there was much rain, but not much effect was there in the for the, whatever I have learnt or whatever I have read in the newspaper. So, but if something bad happens, so disaster management team comes up and try to rescue people from there, so that the people can be protected, and also the um also the properties, the government properties can be protected. So, depending upon this, the different kind of projects can also be uh, differentiated based on purpose, like new projects, mergers, diversification, modernization. So, what kind of purpose of the project, what they are trying to achieve. So that also can be a way of classifying the project. Okay, let's. So, in case of project classification, if we based on beneficiary, it could be industrial, ancillary, and consumers. Means some project is uh, consumer based, some project is industry based, and some ancillary based. Now think about the Tata Nano project that was supposed to happen so there was a new type of car which is for the which was for the consumers mostly. It was small budget car, small car, and for that particular project there was lots of ancillary development was there, because for that particular kind of car all the specifications were new. So the development of the ancillary product, means ancillary means for a car, what are the different ancillaries, like paint industry, like a small nut and bolt and new kind of material that could be required to fit the cars. So those are the development of so new model, new project, and whatever is associated with it is the ancillary industry. So development of the ancillary industry are also was important. So it was beneficial for the consumers as well as for the ancillary industry. So the project could be classified that way also. Based on the purpose, like new projects, mergers, diversifications. I think in strategic management, you have learned all these different types of names. What are the mergers? What is diversification? So I'm not going into the details of that. And then think about that. See, these are the say construction of house, building. See, if you are doing it for your own, this is a small kind of small project, and you are making your own house. That's also project. We have already talked about that, and like construction of building, bridges, roads. All these are has certain purpose. So These projects can be based on the project can be classified as the based on the purpose. Now the next one we will talk about the project life cycle. Okay, so now I have shown this graph where in x-axis there is time, either in years, months, or days, and uh, and initially how the project life cycle is being developed. So at the beginning, what drives a project is a market needs. Means people uh, a particular product is launched in the market, and people talk about the product, and then what are the deficiency in the product, and the feedback is taken about the product, and uh, after some point of time consumers are not happy, so research and developments are still going on so that the new better product can be obtained. So market needs, market demand drives new kind of product development or new kind of project. So initially at the beginning there is market needs. Then what people want, what people needs, that is the basic uh, idea. From that idea, the corresponding definition of project comes. So next is the definition and proposal. So how the product can be improved in such a way so that the people, more and more people can buy the product. More and more people can have the product. So that's the definition and proposal. Then comes the feasibility study. So that is the time frame we are talking about. Feasibility study means, so to make the product, new development, what are the requirements? Whether the company has enough people, enough money, enough resources, enough technology, whether the company can do that, develop according to the requirement of the market or not. So that is the feasibility study. Also, we have talked about feasibility and viability. Whether after the product is made, whether the product will be viable in the market, means whether the product will be sustained in the market, whether the product will be uh, more and more people will buy the a product in the market, and thus the company can earn profit by developing the new product or not. So that is the feasibility study. And if all this are uh, yes, true, then the planning and estimating process comes. Then actual, then people from the different departments sit together and they plan and do the process how the product can be developed in such a way so that people can buy. And while planning and estimating, after the planning and estimating means what could be done, what are the requirements, what is the what amount of money is required, so that cost and time, we have talked about the critical path and correspondingly the path, that is the estimation process. Not actual will happen when it will start the implementation. Then the experimenting means some prototype designing is done, uh, pilot survey is being done, small kind of product is being done, whether it is whatever is being conceived of, whether the product is going into that particular direction or not, whether the people are accepting the product or not. Ultimately, before ultimately launching the whole new product, total investment, total kind of concentration in developing the product or developing the product. Before doing that, some small scale experimentation is done, whether some requirement of change in the design and development. So it takes a time. Then the prototype is tested. After all these deliberations, then a basic product is made and the prototype means a basic product with new configurations, new uh, things, a new whatever the market needs are being incorporated in the product, and the prototype is tested. Okay, whatever we were thinking about whether the product is coming up to the mark to the expectation or not. So that is the prototype testing. And after everything is true, yes, and everything is good, well and good, then the product has been commissioned. Commission means actually comes into play for use, proper actual use. So it takes quite a lot of time. Now, yes, the very good example can be right now the COVID vaccine test. So so in the last November when COVID started, so that was the market need. Then different companies from different like AstraZeneca, like other companies, Russian companies, Sputnik is being launched. Sorry, not Sputnik is a vaccine. So all the companies started to find out how this vaccine can be evaluated. So feasibility studies, yes, it has to be developed. Otherwise, people will die in COVID. So all the different companies started to plan and estimate how this can be made, how the vaccine can be made, and they are now we are in the experimenting and design and development stage. Most of the vaccines are in the third, fourth stage of experimentation and design change, and they are trying to check how effective that vaccine could be within the so almost 1 year has already passed, and prototype is being tested, experimentation is being done. Somewhere it is saying 95% effectiveness, some vaccines is saying 70% effectiveness, some vaccines saying 72%, 92%. So it is not yet commissioned. So it is expected that within December or January next year, all the vaccines will be ready after all the testing, and people can get the shot of the vaccine, so that this COVID can be prevented. So when they are ready, when the final commissioning will be done, people then large scale production of the vaccines will be made, and the vaccines will be available to the people, and that is called commissioning. See, in this y-axis we have written product, then in the bracket it's written clear, and then in the above it's written concepts, that is vague. So market needs, definition, proposal, feasibility study, planning and estimating. This part is a conceptual phase actually. It's not proper definition, not proper exact thing is there. So that's a vague kind of some certain kind of ideas, certain what will happen, how to go about it. So these are the things that has been thought, and as the time goes by, as the time progresses, the design, development, prototype testing, and commissioning, then there is a clear picture of the product, and people knows about it more and more, and then people will be eagerly waiting for this kind of product. So initial the product is in the conceptual phase or conception phase, which is in vague, not properly defined, not proper way of properly it is developed. And after the experimentation and design development and prototype testing, and finally the commissioning, then it gives you the clear picture of the product. Okay. And while in project also, similarly it happens in case of new product development is also a kind of project that we have talked about. So unless commissioning, design development, prototype testing, now you can see a particular product, that is product or project, what is being happening, how the actual implementation, unless the actual implementation is done. So it is not most of the previously it was conceptual phase. When the actual implementation is done, then the product becomes real, more or less. Okay. So okay, what happens? Yes. Then this table shows phases and stages
Excuse
of,
me, sir.
yes.
Sir, there is no screen like this.
As I was saying, uh, so this was the table that I was talking about. So initially it was the conception phase, like market needs, definition, proposal, feasibility study, planning, estimating are more or less conception phase, not clear development of the product is there. And after the design, development, prototype testing and commissioning is then done, then is the clear development of the project. So you can see clear actually when the actual implementation is being done, then it becomes uh, more or less clear what is happening, what is going to uh, what what is going to happen, or what we are trying to do. So this table shows the phases, stages, and corresponding objectives. In the preparation and initiation phase, where identification of the project idea, preliminary selection, feasibility studies, and evaluation and decision making. So market needs, definition, proposal, feasibility study. So these are the things at the preparation and initial stage. Okay, let me show you this particular graph. Yes, I'll come to that. Just let me say a little bit on this table. So initiation, preparation and initiation means before actual implementation. So identification of the project idea, then the preliminary selection means from the several ideas, one particular idea has to be to be concentrated upon. So which one to be selected? That particular idea is important. That particular decision is important. And then the feasibility study is there. Then before implementing the feasibility study means ideas for possible solutions developed into alternative concept, desirable technical solutions identified and classified. So that is the feasibility study. How to go about it, whether it will be whether we have sufficient resources to do the project or not, do this particular kind of uh, then evaluation and decision making. Then after the feasibility study is done, then you have to form a particular team who will be responsible to execute the project. Feasibility of envisaged concepts and relevant alternative assessed, evaluated and categorized, decision on adaptation of most of the promising alternative solution, funding provided. So funding is provided, people who will be working on it, so those decision making are to be done. So these are the planning, definite proposal, feasibility studies, planning and estimating. So these first four parts are more are conception and initiation stages, where not much monetary involvement is there, but most on thought, thinking, putting the things on paper. These parts are there. Then after that comes the implementation and construction, when actual implementation, actual work starts to begin. Like think about making your own house. So if you want to make your own house, first thing you have to do is to search for a land, then buy the land, then oh, then buy the land, then pass the plan, then go to the municipality, then draw a plan, then pass the plan. So all these are more or less in the conceptual phase. After the plan is passed, then you start doing the construction part, construction of your building. So before that, all of them, most of the things are thinking, planning, and collecting, organizing the resources. This part was there. So mostly theoretical and conceptual things. But after the plan is passed, now you have say 6 months of or 3 months of time to make your own house. So you have to bring human resource, put money there, uh, buy construction material. So that is the implementation part. So after initial project planning, scheduling and designing and engineering, then all detailed drawings, specification, bills. So objectives and stages we are discussing. So actually implementation and see 5, 6 and 7 are actual implementation and construction, where the contracting and procurement means if you are doing it yourself, you are building your own house. If you are doing it yourself, then you have to buy the materials. You have to look for the people who, you have to look for the masonry works who will be doing the construction for you. Otherwise, you give a contract to some contractor who will be building you, making as a building for you. So see this, reading the contracting and procurement, appropriate manpower, machinery, manufacturing and construction facilities, utilities, material documentation, and other relevant infrastructure components mobilized and available. So while contracting and you have to do all these things yourself. That is the actual implementation. Then you require more resources, money, people, technology. Those things are required more. And actually you start doing the facility construction and pre-operation. So before building your building, making your building, what are the things that has been made? Do you remember? Do you know? প্রথমে কি তৈরি করে? প্রথমে একটা কুয়ো, first our well is dug up, because to make your building you need resources, water is required. So first thing they make is dug a well from where the water will be used for construction of the building. So these are the actual construction, certain pre-construction. Maybe some boundary wall is made. Boundary wall is put so that the materials, whatever will be stored there, a small storeroom is made where the materials should be kept under lock and key, so that the people cannot, or the thieves can, so that the materials cannot be taken away by other people. So those things are actually being constructed first before actual construction of the building. And finally the operation is being done, operation is being made. So actual implementation, when you make the buildings, so after commissioning, the operation is done. Means after the construction of the building, or painting, water facility, electricity is done, then you start staying there. So that is the actual operation part comes. So after all this thing, the operation part comes. Okay. Let's define what are the phases in project life cycle in a graphical manner. So first is the conception phase, as we have said. So this is the conception part, the first 4 things, and then implementation. So preparation and initiation is the conception part, and implementation and construction, and operation. So in graphical manner, similar to that of product life cycle, as you can see, initially it's quite a flattened, then it becomes steeper, and then it becomes dropped. So first is the conception phase, then is the definition, planning and organizing, implementation, and cleanup phase. So in the conception and definition phase, the amount of effort is very less, and if you can see in the x-axis there is time, and in the y-axis there is level of effort. So level of effort is very small in conception and definition phase. So like this project idea generation, preliminary selection, feasibility study, evaluation, and decision making, where more thought rather than resource and more mental work is being done rather than the physical work, you can say that. So less effort, but more level of ideas and thoughts and all that. Okay. So after, see, planning and organizing. In case of planning and organizing, see, contracting, procurement, initial project planning, scheduling, detailed drawing, specification. So a little bit of more work more effort is required, and then you need to organize manpower, organize different kind of facility, organize different kind of utilities. So these are the organizing and planning phase. And so here 8% effort, and the time frame is increasing, and in the implementation phase 85% effort. In the implementation phase 85% effort. So actual work is being done in the implementation phase, where the construction of the building is being, you have to organize people, you have to put the money, resources, all the resources are to be there, brought forward, and you have to do actual work, and effort, more and more effort is required. So in implementation phase 85% is required. And after the project is done, after it is commissioned, then the cleanup phase, where it requires 3% effort. So cleanup phase means the team, the project team who are working on a project, they are broken down and they go back to their own departments. They go back to their own departments, and everything, only the maintenance and monitoring is required. Nothing much, nothing more is required. So we'll do the detailing in the next class of this project life cycle, and feasibility studies are still left. So we will be doing that in the later stages. Okay, so we'll stop here today.